Howdy folks, Happy New Year. It's Donal Ward McCarthy here with Keller Williams Realty, your neighbourhood specialist for Bloordale Village. So what we want to do is a little bit different. We're looking back at Bloordale Village. I'm going to go through what was the most expensive home that sold in Bloordale Village and the least expensive home that sold in our village over 2019. I'm also going to do we're going to pull back and do a bit of a macro look at what the sales were, what the average listing to sale price was, how quickly properties are selling over the last 6 months of 29. It gives us a bit of a better perspective than just drumming down into 1 month sales. But of course, down below me there is a link where you can download everything. You can download December sales and everything that we're going to talk about here. So let's start off with the least expensive house in Bloordale Village that sold. It actually just sold a few months ago. The property was 197 Emerson Avenue, so up closer to DuPont. And quite a small 12.67 frontage of a lot, and that one was listed at $699 and sold for 2% below asking at $685 in 21 days. So that was the cheapest home in Bloordale Village, $685,000. Not bad for getting into our neighbourhood. And now the most expensive home. We spoke about this during the year when this sale actually happened. 380 Margaretta Street. This one sold back in 2017. It sold for $1,850,000 in that crazy spring market that we saw back in 2017 before the government implemented their 16-point plan to cool things down a bit, which it did indeed. So these folks bought and they paid $1.85 back in 2017. They put it back on the market again in 2019. And at least they made the same amount of money that they bought it for. But of course they would have paid fees on that as well too. So they sold it this year. The most expensive home in Bloordale Village back in May was 380 Margaretta Street and sold for $1,850,000. Now let's look at the last 6 months in Bloordale Village. So the chart again below, you'll be able to see it in the download link. It's a 6 month aggregate of sales of detached, semi-detached and townhomes in Bloordale Village. So there were 31 sales in a neighbourhood of about 1,800 to 1,900 residences. That's still very tight supply, which again indicates why we were having such a seller's market downtown here in Toronto's West End. 31 sales. The average price was $1,112,000. The highest sale in the last 6 months was $1,540,000. That was one of our own sales actually. We just sold it back in October on 133 Emerson Avenue. And the average days on market, just like Junction Triangle, it was 12 days. And pretty much on par as well too. Listings are selling 9% above the listing value in Bloordale Village. So again, our auction style sale, our multiple offer, multiple bids, still working in this core area in Toronto West because indeed our supply is so tight and the demand is very, very high. So there you have it, folks. Again, all this stuff is for download below us here in the links, as well as December sales in Bloordale Village. There were 3 sales in the neighbourhood. My name is Donal Ward McCarthy. Thanks for your time. Again, if you're thinking of selling or if you need any information on what's happening in our market in 2020, do reach out to us. It is a very strong seller's market still in Bloordale Village, and we expect it to remain the same in 2020. Thanks so much. Talk to you next month. Ciao, ciao.